Power 104.7.
Rise and shine, St. Paul. Start your day the Power way. The Wake Up on Power 104.7 FM. Monday through Friday from 8 to 10. Let's go. Let's go. Power 104.7.
Wake up. This is the Wake Up.
Welcome back, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Hey. It's the Wake Up on Power 104.7. It's time to get into it, y'all. It's time for that interview we told y'all about since yesterday. You know, we got Shakira Edwards in the building.
Shakira two times.
Shakira 2 times. I love saying that, and I always do this hand movement for some reason.
I feel like a Beyonce video now.
No, let me stop. Anyways, welcome.
Hey, y'all. I am so excited to be here.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
We really appreciate it.
Yes.
Man, we got a lot to talk about.
We
was already
indeed.
saying off air what we going to speak on because it's...
Man.
Yeah.
I'm
And
just
Intenz
here
is going to be chilling.
I'm here for monitor purposes.
And I appreciate
Moral
you.
support.
You know,
Yes. Thank
all
you.
that good stuff. And then, you know, if hey, we're going to cut it. Okay.
It's going to be a moment where he got to be like, all right now.
Yeah.
Right.
All right now.
Right.
Calm down on us.
Right.
But anyways, no, I'm really excited that you're here. Coming into journalism myself, right? Early, just in a few years ago, you were one of the people that I seen off the rip, like from the start, and I've always admired your work ethic and how you're able to move rooms and get into rooms, and you just hold this poise about yourself that I just love, like as a Black woman. So I just want to give you your flowers because you've been doing your thing for a while now.
Thank you.
Yes.
I really appreciate that. And same to you. I want to give you your flowers as well. The consistency is seen. I see it.
Thank you.
No matter what platform I'm on, I see you doing your thing.
Thank you.
You're interviewing the greats. I love your energy. So I'm very happy to be here. And thanks for the reminder, girl, that I'm getting old because it has been a while. I've been doing this for a while.
My bad. All right, well, let's talk about that then. Let's get straight into that. You've been in journalism and media for 10 plus years. Mm-hmm. Let us know what the beginning looked like for you. What made you want to step into the field of talking?
Yes. So, girl, straight out the womb, I've been a professional yapper. I have a 4-year-old, and I'm like, every day I'm like, why does he talk so much? Like, where did he get this from? I'm aware. So I've always loved to talk. I've always been the person who loves a microphone. Growing up, my dad was a community organizer. He was a public speaker. He was a mentor. Okay. And every chance I got, I mean, he would do things like at churches, he would host events where like he would ask gang members to turn in their guns. And I would be like, where's the mic? I want to introduce the next person that's coming. Like, no matter what type of room it was, I wanted to be that person on stage with the microphone. And he taught me early on that as a Black woman, the most powerful tool you have is your voice. Yes. I have freedom of speech tatted. I can't show y'all right now, but I feel very strongly about that, especially like in the world we live in today. There are so many people trying to silence us, from the government to mainstream media to, you know, just men in general. So I think for me, I just wanted to be a voice to the voiceless, as cliche as that sounds. So early on, I remember 7th grade, I did a project. They asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I said, I want to be a talk show host. Specifically, I said I wanted to be a mix between Ryan Seacrest and Oprah, because I felt like that was good range.
I like that. That is a good range.
So now that I've grown, and you know, I grew up in Burnsville, so now that I've grown and I'm a lot more tapped into my Blackness, I don't necessarily want to be either of those two. No shade to Oprah or Ryan Seacrest. But I absolutely...
A little umbrellas.
Right, umbrellas. But I
absolutely
absolutely want to be somebody that has a platform where folks who may not have the opportunity to express themselves, to say what's on their mind, to share information, to be able to do that, much like what you all are doing.
Absolutely.
And then I also think it's really important. I feel like communication, people don't realize the depth and the importance of communication. A lot of times you go into, you mentioned like, you know, you see me in different rooms. You go to these networking events and folks might think they have little to nothing in common, especially in Minnesota. I feel like folks love to be clicked up. Yeah. And I think all it takes is for somebody to get on a stage and ask the right question to like just break down walls and get people to open up and get people to feel comfortable and understand the similarities that they may have. So it's just always been a really big deal for me to make sure that I can play a role in that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So you went to school for this because you was like, this is a passion.
Yes.
But I really want to get like the education behind it.
Yes.
So St. Cloud State?
Yes, ma'am.
Nice.
Period.
Okay.
A researcher. Okay.
I be trying, I'm in my journalism bag.
Yes, ma'am.
But yes, let us know, because you said a bachelor's
Yes.
in mass communication and media studies. So let us know what that looks like in school, right? Because like you said, you want to be a professional yapper, but what does that look like when it's time to do work or to have projects or classes and all of that? So let us kind of give us the insight of college life.
Yeah, so I will say college is the best decision I ever made in my entire life. I started off, went to Burnsville High School because I talked so much. Unfortunately, those grades weren't up to par. So I went to community college first. Shout out to Normandale.
Okay.
And then
I went there.
Life was lifing.
Short-lived.
Okay, but we might have been there around the same time. Their beef stroganoff, fire, y'all. I will go back today for their food. But
wow.
Yeah, no, and I mean it. I really mean it. But life was lifing, and I ended up being homeless. And I was like, okay, I'm going to apply to a couple universities because I need a place to live. And universities have dorms. My options were limited because, again, I wasn't a scholar in high school, and I ended up going to St. Cloud. Completely changed my life. I was a part of their mass communications program. Okay. Immediately knew what I wanted my major to be. Minor in just communication studies. I have a minor in Spanish too, but
I've seen that on there. I was
don't
quiz
me.
Do you use it on the everyday?
No, I can understand it, but it's not. But anywho, so and
past that one real quick.
The program really changed my life. I mean, we had St. Cloud. It doesn't have. I guess it's not a nationally accredited college by any means, but the journalism program goes crazy. UTVS was a university television station, and they really had us out there doing reporter packages, pulling up to local restaurants, pulling up to crime scenes within reason, and really reporting live. And I learned during that program, I learned how to produce. I learned the basics of radio. I took like speech enunciation classes to like remove a Minnesota accent, quote unquote. I just learned so many different things about myself in that journey as well. Because during my time in college, my dad did pass away. And I also, thank you. I also did join the BSU and joined a bunch of different programs and groups. And I think like, although the curriculum itself, cool, it was great. I did better than I did in high school grades wise. But I think just the opportunity to go to a 4-year college, be away from home, be a fish out of water, because I was also a transfer student, so having to kind of like force my way in and find my people, that absolutely changed my life. And I think it made me a little more I would say like socially diverse. Okay. And I think as a journalist, that's very important, to be able to go into any room and interview any type of person. And that really taught me, again, forced me to feel comfortable doing that.
I love that. Do you feel like there was a lot of Black representation at St. Cloud?
No, girl.
Really?
So I will say the cool thing about Minnesota, and this is just me being positive, it's the morning, I'm trying to, the cool thing about it is because
let them know.
Because there aren't a lot of us, at least in college, because there weren't a lot of us, we all clicked together, we all grouped together. So like a lot of my friends that I still have today are my friends that I met in college. And again, I was a part of the BSU. It was called CAS. Shout out to CAS. It's still a thing. Okay. The Council of African American Students. And yeah, it was me, the Somali kids, the West African kids, the Jamaican, everybody who had melanin in their skin. We just all rocked together. Most of them knew each other because they were from the inner city. But with me being from Burnsville, there was like 1 or 2 people I knew. But yeah, there weren't many of us. And not only that, St. Cloud is notorious for being a very racist city. I know you were saying talk about it. It's literally called White Cloud. I don't know if they still call it that.
That's crazy. I've
well,
never heard of
apparently
that.
It's called that now for different reasons, but we can't get into that on the radio. We'll talk about that. But there was a gentleman there, and I use the term gentleman loosely, named St. Cloud Superman. That was his nickname. And this man he was absolutely mentally ill, but he would walk around campus with like a tank top, shorts, and American flag. And by the time it got to the point where Trump was running for office, I was on my way out. He would wear all the MAGA gear as well and just walk around and terrorize immigrant students, Black students, Latino, like just terrorize any other students. That's crazy. And because the college is, I guess, public property, they quote unquote couldn't do anything about it. So being a part of the BSU and being on the board for that, I was a secretary, we would try and plan things, just like strategic things to use our voice as well to speak out about what was happening on campus, but we couldn't take any like direct action, unfortunately. And I don't know if he's still around. That was 10 years ago, which is crazy. I graduated in 2016, but yeah, I mean, I definitely built a community there and just worked with, and again, being from Burnsville, it wasn't anything I wasn't used to. Like I'm very much used to being the other in the room. Right. But not these days. I put myself in Black spaces. I have not been a minority in a space in quite some time. Knock on wood.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up. Do you feel like, okay, so in that program, we're not gonna sit on it too much longer, but during that program, Do you feel like the approach to journalism was more traditional as outside of like where you would normally see, I guess, Black people go into? So like entertainment journalism, maybe sports journalism. Like, how was that situation?
It was absolutely traditional, and a lot of the kids that I went to college with are now, you know, they work for news stations. They're producers, they're anchors, and so kudos to them. But there was basically no room for entertainment journalism, which is what I have always wanted to do from day one, which is why eventually I moved to LA, because I'm like, we don't got it here. There was basically no room. We started, you know how trauma works? Like, I have memory gaps, so I don't even remember the name of it. But me and like 4 other young ladies, a mixed bag of races, we started like a cultural show. And they do still now at St. Cloud do that show. Okay. So I'm really grateful, and I'm glad that we implemented that. Sports was heavy there, but it was hockey, again, at St. Cloud. So we definitely needed more rooms for different types of journalism. It was very much cookie cutter, either top 40 radio or today there was a car accident on 995. Like, there was not much room for the in-between by any means.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Did you feel like you had to show up a certain way physically? Being in that space, like not being able to wear certain hairstyles or even just outfits, makeup, or anything like that?
Absolutely. And I can candidly say, I'll be 33 in June. I would say that I just started.
You look 33.
Oh, period, because Black don't crack.
It don't.
Thank you, girl.
I'm so young.
What? How old are you?
Old enough.
No.
Okay, well, you look young too.
Tell your
Thank
age.
you. Appreciate it.
Tell your age.
Now I'll be 38 next month.
Oh, so we're in the same decade. You acting like you're a jive turkey or something. We're around the same
I
age.
hang around too many old people.
That's real. That's real. So you're an old soul, perhaps. Yeah. Okay. But I would say I just started feeling comfortable genuinely showing up as myself probably in the last 5-6 years. Okay. Again, like, I grew up in Burnsville. Like, so I was born in Philly, and we can maybe get into that later, but I grew up in Burnsville. I was in Burnsville my entire life, and then I went to St. Cloud. So I very much was the queen of the code switch, like, completely. So I absolutely had to show up a different version of myself, really a made up version of myself. It was very scripted. It was very, now I will say 10 years ago, girl, the hair options were limited. So I go back and look at pictures. The wigs were atrocious, but I was wearing wigs. I wasn't wearing my natural hair. I wasn't wearing braids.
Oh,
like it felt like I was more accepted with a crunchy wig than I would have been with a natural hairstyle.
And that's crazy. Wow.
Insane.
Wow.
Feel for y'all, man.
Yeah.
Feel for y'all.
And this and real quick, that goes back into, what was it called? It was an act that was passed, right? To where
the Crown Act.
The Crown Act, to where we are allowed to be ourselves with our hair in work environments without feeling like we finna get fired for it. So that's crazy that you had to literally live that for a period of time. Like, absolutely. I got a code switch. I got to be this way in front of them. But when I go back home, I can take the wig off and be myself. Yeah,
absolutely.
And that feeling when you get home, you take your bra off. Like, oh.
No, literally. Like my humor went over everybody's head. Like I absolutely did not fit in.
Damn.
And we did have like a token black girl.
I can honestly imagine that one.
Which part?
Just how you say something and they're just like, huh?
What do you mean by that? Like looking at me like I'm slow. Like like huh?
It's like you don't pay attention.
Right. You're not tapped in. Your ears are not to the streets.
Sorry, you keep going.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say we definitely did have a token black girl. Phenomenal woman. I love her today. But she was in those circles. She was in those groups. After a long news day, like if folks were going to get food or drink, she was invited to those things. But I was never, not only did I not want to be a part of those things, an invitation was never extended. Okay. And I was okay with that because as soon as I clocked out of the news station, I'm going to hang out with the BSU. So,
with your people.
Yeah, exactly. So there was balance, but it was hard for sure. But that's just the plight of a black woman, especially in the Midwest. I mean, I could say the same for corporate America. I could say the same for high school, elementary school. It's always been that.
Yeah, I would say that being in this space here at Power 104.7, right? The building itself has so many other businesses in here, right? So in a sense, when you come in here, you do feel like you want to come at least polished and cleaned and looking presentable. But I can say at least in this specific space here, we can be ourselves.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's owned by a black woman. We play black music. We talk about black topics in situations. So it's like we can fully be ourselves and not have to do that code switch per se. Yeah. So that's super dope. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Okay, so LA. Let's talk about it, because you did live out there for a little bit, which was dope. That I think that was more around the time where I first kind of started noticing you. Yeah. So let us know how that experience was.
Okay, so I hate for the theme of this interview to be homelessness, because this is not what I'm trying to.
Oh, real quick.
Yes, man.
pull your mic down just a little bit. There we go. It was blocking your face. There we go.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
But again, I found myself after high school, trying to look for after college, trying to look for work, working 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jobs, couch surfing, living with different friends, and I was like, Lord, I don't have anything to lose at this point. Oh, my car got repossessed. Like I was just down in the dumps, y'all.
Goodness.
So I'm like, I don't have anything to lose. I've wanted to move to LA since I was 12 years old. YOLO, let me take the chance. So at the time I had a couple friends, really associates at the time, who I had either met, in college or just, again, I had so many different jobs. You name a job, I had it. So one of them, who, shout out to Darren Barber, he's an actor, he's still in LA. He was like, hey, there's this artist housing where they're accepting journalists, actors, dancers, singers, producers. There's 20 to 25 people in each house. But if you apply with your resume, you send a demo reel, you can come out here and you can live basically in a coffin for $750 a month. Whoa. But it's Los Angeles. It was right in the heart of LA. Yeah. They offered like studio sessions. They offered free headshots. They had acting classes. So I said, sign me up. So I applied and I got in. And I literally moved to LA with 2 bags. And y'all, I need more than 2 bags to go on a trip now. So I don't know how I did this back then.
You made it work.
Right. So I moved to LA with 2 bags and, the clothes on my back, a duffel bag. And I moved into this artist housing. It's called Upstart. It's no longer a thing anymore. Okay. But that's how I got there. And when I got there, I just started applying for jobs. At that time, the only experience I had, like concrete resume worthy experience I had in journalism was like red carpet hosting. Shout out to Bianca Rhodes. She's my mentor. She gave me my first red carpet gig. So I had done some red carpet hosting. Obviously, I was a part of the journalism program in college. And then for our BSU, I did some hosting, but for the most part, like I was green. I was completely green. So I applied for jobs. I worked a bunch of odd jobs. I remember specifically 3 months after I moved to LA in 2019, I was working like at a boat, like a duck boat at a lake job, helping people get in the boat. Very basic job. Oh, wow. Okay. And Nipsey Hussle passed away. And again, y'all, I'm from Burnsville. I went to St. Cloud. I got on a bus and I went to South Central with my little camera and I'm just like, first of all, I want to honor a legend. Like this is historic. This is the whole city is grieving. I just feel like I should be here. But also like, let me just like my journalism brain was ticking. I'm like, let me see what I can capture. Absolutely. And along that way, I met a gentleman who was like a documentarian. He literally he only does documentaries about gangs. Like it's a very specific niche. Oh. But he was like, I need a host. And they're signing like this big legendary treaty tomorrow between, I don't want to look, y'all, I'm not caught up in gang culture. So, so I don't know the details, but they signed a big treaty between the Bloods and the Crips. And he was like, come back. I want to get you mic'd up. I want to do some interviews. So that I ended up getting fired from the duck boat job. They were like, sis, you missed 2 shifts. Like, we don't even know who Nipsey Hussle is. You're out of here. So I ended up getting fired. Said who? Right. Who is that?
See, that's that side.
Exactly. Exactly. And in LA at that, like, what? The caucasity. But anyway. Wow. I don't know if I can say that word. I apologize.
You're
good. Cool. You're good. So I ended up doing that. I interviewed Big U. I interviewed Black Sam. I interviewed some folks from the Nation of Islam. I interviewed the head police chief in LA, and that interview, because of that gentleman, because I had little to no platform, but because of the documentarian, that interview went crazy. Like it's on Hulu. Snoop Dogg featured me in a music video. Like it just really helped for me solidify my trajectory. Like, okay, I'm here and I can do this. So from there, I ended up getting hired at Warner Brothers. Again, y'all, LA is expensive. So in the midst of all of this, I had 6, 7, 8, 9 jobs. I was a barista. I worked at Hooters. I worked at a bar. I picked up all the things while having 25 roommates, mind you. But anyways.
So you basically had like the college dorm life in LA?
Yes, times 10. Wow. Absolutely. Wow. But I'd rather do it in LA than St. Cloud. No shade to St. Cloud. But so I ended up getting a job at Warner Brothers as a tour guide. And I was so excited because I'm like, my foot is in the door. Like there was just so much excitement around it. It was a really amazing job. I ended up being able to work The Ellen Show and work The Real for a little bit and just see like a studio lot, like a film studio lot. It just really changed my life because these are things that a lot of us growing up in Minnesota, even working in entertainment, like we just don't get the opportunity to see. So I'm like, the sky's the limit. And then COVID happened. So COVID happened. The world shut down. Warner Brothers was like, not only are we not doing tours, we're not filming movies. So y'all got to figure it out. I stuck it out for a little bit longer and was able to do virtual interviews, like similar format to this one, through an organization. They gave me a really dope platform too. I got to interview like Trevor Jackson and Kayla Nicole and some really dope people that I look up to. And it was amazing. And I'm like, I can keep doing this through COVID. And then I got pregnant. So I got pregnant. At this time, I wasn't living with 25 roommates. I had moved out and moved in with my boyfriend and my good friend from college, actually. But everyone was like, we can't afford to stay. Like, it was COVID. Work was hard to find. Los Angeles is already so expensive. So I came back home. And I really had to reset. It was coming back home was very hard for me. I don't know if y'all have ever moved out of state, but there's a sense of like defeat and disappointment that you have, and almost embarrassment. Like, you know, a year ago I was talking about I'm in the studio, I'm at Warner Brothers, I'm doing this, and then now I'm back over in South Minneapolis looking at everybody else like, so what are y'all getting into this weekend?
Yeah, so, let's dig a little bit into that, because that's been a conversation that I've had to have with people over and over again. And I'm not gonna lie, I get very defensive about that conversation, because you'll see like a post on Facebook like, people always want to leave Minnesota, but they be right back here. And they be like, first of all, kudos to us for taking the leap of faith and going somewhere.
That part.
That's what matters the most. A person even thought that they can make it outside of these four walls. Because we're so used to, first of all, Minnesota is one of the places that the resources are so easy attainable, right? And you can get help so easy, especially women with children, right? So we're so spoiled here, right? So taking that leap of faith from going somewhere else and actually going through the struggle and actually getting up on your 2 feet without extra help, without family members or whoever, you know, you're helping you in that new state. But so again, to relate to feeling like it was an embarrassment having to come back, I completely understand that, because I moved to Georgia and I was only there for like 5 months, so not as long as you were in LA, but that time frame that I was there, I felt like that the journey was just beginning. Like, okay, it's now really time to hit the ground running and follow these dreams. So having to come back, I felt that embarrassment. I felt like I failed. And I kind of isolated myself from even hanging out with people or seeing people. Everybody's like, let's hang out, I want to see you. I don't want to. I don't want to be here. Okay. I don't really want to see
I want to go home.
Yeah. So no. So I could understand, you know, that feeling of having to come back. But I will say that having a home to come back to is a blessing, because not a lot of people can leave their home state and then be able to come back when need be. The fact that I had some help still here, like, okay, come on, you might as well sleep on the couch for a little bit, but you got a place to be. That was the blessing out of all of it. So did you feel like you were supported? Oh, well, go ahead.
All I can say in that situation is, you know, when you find light in situations like this, you know what I mean, that pressure is what makes that diamond actually shine harder. So being able to actually uproot, go take these chances, go out here, see something different, I per se wouldn't say look at it as, you know, hardship, especially if you're coming back home. Home will always be home, and you know you'll be able to be comfortable doing that. But I do say you were put in that situation for a reason. And what that reason became is more of where your destiny and your future will keep going. So for both of y'all, I commend both of y'all. I just usually just leave and come back, because that's how I look at it. I was like, if I'm always be home, I would never not stop that. But I do, and we all should get out, touch different areas, touch different landscapes, look at different vision, go over, you know, overseas and all that good stuff, just because that's a new vision for your life. You know, so that's just God. That was God working in y'all.
Absolutely.
He wanted to remove y'all from something to make you uncomfortable, so you can be ready for what's next.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and preach it.
Like
now I'm going back to being the fly on the wall.
And you're right, and when you say that too, because think about, you said you were there for 5 months is a long time. How many lessons did you learn that you couldn't have learned had you not went?
Exactly.
And that's how I look at it now. But at the time, no. And to answer your question, no, I did not feel supported. So like I mentioned before, my dad passed a couple days before my 21st birthday. My dad was a single dad. Like, my dad raised me. And I absolutely do have a mom who he met when I was a baby, an infant. and she's raised me my whole life, and we have a great relationship now. But around the time of him passing, from me going to college, me moving to LA, we had a very tumultuous relationship. We didn't get back cool again until I had my son. So when I moved back to Minnesota, besides my boyfriend and his family, I felt super just alone. I was like, I'm an orphan, I'm about to have a baby, and I don't have parents. Like, I very much was, there was a lot of self-pity.
Yeah.
A lot of feeling sorry for myself. And then when I first moved back, again, I was pregnant. I stayed there for most of my pregnancy. 6 months pregnant, my boyfriend and I broke up. So I felt just insane.
I felt like your world was crashing.
Absolutely. Like the world was over in my head. So it was really difficult for me. It definitely was.
Yeah. Real quick, because we got about 5 minutes left on air, so I do want to ask this question for the listeners. In LA, what was probably, out of all the different like sets you worked, the experiences you've had, what was probably like your top experience? Like, this beat everything.
Wow, nobody's ever asked me that. Okay, well, this is relevant. This is not my favorite. I had a lot of favorites, honestly. But shout out to the good brother Michael B. Jordan, who just won his first Oscar.
Shout out to that black man.
He is not only a phenomenal, I don't know him personally, so let me get into that. I'm not trying to make it sound like I do. But I want to say he's not only a phenomenal actor, but the man is a producer, he's a writer, he's all these things. So on the Warner Brothers studio lot, he had his own personalized parking spot.
Wow.
That literally said MBJ, and he would come there, whether it was in the writer's room or to help for promotion. I don't know. He did a lot of things. He wore a lot of hats. And I'll never forget one time I was doing a tour, and one of the rules when you first get on the bus is like, hey, do not hop off. If you see a celebrity, contain yourself, because this is not that. They will sue all of us, from me all the way down to the last person. For sure. But one time we were parking, I was attempting to park the tour bus, and he was like hopping in his car to back out, and he got out of his car to wave at all of us, and I just thought that was really nice because that's a lot. There's 15, 20 people on a tour bus, and I'm doing a terrible parking job. Like, anybody else could have been annoyed, could have honked their horn, but he was just such a gentleman. And I've had so many great memories. I loved working on set at Warner Brothers, but because he just won the Oscar, I feel like that's a good story to tell.
Was he fine then too?
Girl, been fine. Better looking in person. Like, to the point where me and my coworkers would be like, let's walk the long way so we can pass his parking spot just to see if we bump into him today. But I never bumped into him on foot. One of my biggest regrets.
I would have been purposely camping out somewhere just to wait. Is that him? Get out the
Absolutely
car
fine. Absolutely.
All right, y'all. Well, the time is now 9:58. We do have to end the show, but we will continue to interview Miss Shakira Edwards. If you want to watch the rest of that interview, today's Thursday. I would say
Monday. Tuesday.
Sunday. It'll be up by Sunday. I got y'all. It'll be up by Sunday.
Monday at the latest.
Monday at the latest. But you can watch it Sunday, Monday-ish on my YouTube channel, DaeTVNetwork. That's DaeTVNetwork. Follow me on social media, allthings_Dae. That's allthings_DAE.
We're going to pass it that way real quick.
Where should they follow you, Miss Shakira?
You can follow me everywhere at Shakira Edwards, a.k.a. Shakira 2x, a.k.a. The Conversation Curator, on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Please follow me. And you know what I need? I need y'all to please get on YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Shaq with the Facts. It's real low over there. And I've been interviewing some dope people, and I would really love for y'all to tap in.
Absolutely.
For sure. You can follow me at RealDjIntenz. Once again, that's RealDjIntenz. Don't forget to follow the station, Power 104.7 FM. Make sure you go to the website, power1047.fm, to click that donate button, also to listen live. But click that donate button, Center for Broadcast Journalism, or go to centerforbroadcastjournalism.org.
AKA DaeTV.
DaeTV.
Some DaeTV.
DaeTV. You are now watching the DaeTV Network.
This is the wake up.
Hey. All right, y'all. We back. This is the Wake Up on Power 104.7.
Yup.
And we getting back into our interview with the one and the only, the hostess with the mostest, the media queen, Shakira Edwards.
2 times.
2 times. Oh, where'd that come from? Shakira 2 times.
Oh, that's a good question. So you know the song Hips Don't Lie by Shakira, and they say Shakira, Shakira.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, my entire middle school existence was, oh, do your hips lie? Do your hips lie? So that song was a part of like me. And then in college, I DJ'd for a little bit, and a part of my DJ tag was Shakira 2 times, and then it would go, the drop would be Shakira, Shakira, and then Shakira 2 times. So that's where it came from.
Wait, what? Hold on, wait. Let's go back. Let's let's not try to skip over this. Now I can actually have conversation.
Yes.
You DJ'd?
Yes.
How long?
For about a year.
Wow.
So, yes.
That's some good length there.
Yes.
Okay.
And I really want to get back into it, but I feel like there's like this, it's like the DJ era for women right now is like men with podcasts. Like everyone and their mom is DJing, and I don't want to. One, I want to be clear. I DJ'd weddings, so I wasn't a cool DJ like yourself.
Still
I
a DJ.
Weddings. I don't want to add to that. If I don't, I guess, how do I say? Politically correct. I don't know. I think there are other things I should focus on, but I would love to get back into DJing eventually. It was really fun.
Keep it a hobby, but no, bro. Like, how many weddings have you done?
Like
within your year.
24, I would say.
Okay.
24 weddings.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's not bad.
What
so
style of wedding?
Unfortunately, most of them were top 40. Like the type of wedding where when I played Cupid Shuffle, I would have to get on the dance floor and show them how to do it. If that, just to give you some context. But I did radio for a couple months too. I did an internship in St. Cloud. Do y'all remember Zany K from B96?
Yeah.
He was my mentor because he was
Nice.
working at St. Cloud at KCLD.
Yeah.
So I
right
interned
before he left to Detroit.
Yeah. So I interned there. And he did get a little weird, I'm gonna just be honest. But in the midst of the weirdness, before he got weird, he kind of took me under his wing, and we did a little like celebrity segment together on the radio. So I was able to do that on air too. But
so you got some OG in you.
Yeah, some OG.
So being that, would you had thought that a person of that caliber would have, gave you that opportunity, knowing from the, the past radio stations that was here in the cities that were like, oh my God, big, like B96 and stuff that he was a part of, or KDWB?
Mm-hmm. No, I had no idea. And again, for me, I knew I wanted to be on television, but I didn't want to do the traditional news. So I'm like, okay, what other avenues can I do where I can talk about culture, where I can talk about all these things? And radio just seemed, it was literally like a freak accident. I introduced myself to him. He was like, I love your energy. Like, what do you do? And I think this was my senior year. And we just clicked, and he like really took me under his wing. So no, that was like one of the coolest parts of being in St. Cloud.
And how long was the radio?
That was
time?
quick. That was like 3 months until I graduated. And then he moved on.
And you haven't been back to radio since?
No, but y'all, I really like radio. So look, if you know anybody, let me know. I love
know
it.
Anybody?
Right.
Well, I'm just saying, look.
I'm just saying, you come sit here. Yeah.
Absolutely. I would love to.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So Shakira 2 times, that was your DJ time. So you said you want to get back into DJing. More like hobby?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. But that was a fun time.
My son turns 4 at the end of April. I'm going to DJ at his birthday party. Like little stuff like that.
That would be so cute,
But I don't think I
When's
can
his
hang with
birthday?
the big
But that's a
dogs.
resume.
April 26th.
Oh, he 3 days after me.
Oh, dope.
Shout out to the
Are you a
Taurus,
tour?
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mixed reviews on
Yeah,
Tauruses,
man.
Hey,
no
we
shade.
are. Whoa. Okay.
What's your sign?
I'm a Sag.
Period. I love a Sag.
Yes, you know.
One of my very good friends is a Sag. Shout out to Yvonne Frenchie. She's watching.
Yes. And what's your sign?
I'm a Gemini, but I am not
goodness
crazy.
gracious.
But I'm not crazy, y'all. I like to preface it with that because we get a bad rep.
No, the reason
I give you
said
kudos
that
on that.
because-
My daughter's a Gemini.
Yeah.
And is she crazy?
I don't.
My daughter's crazy. She's a Gemini.
Really?
Yeah, June 10th.
She who she is, and who she is her, and I just kind of let her be her.
That's a perfect
So,
answer for her
you know
dad.
what I mean?
I love that answer. See, Happy Women's Month. That's the way to answer that.
Absolutely. Okay, so then where did the conversation curator come from? Since we're
Yes.
talking about nicknames.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, real Gemini, like the 8 aliases is crazy, but so I don't remember exactly.
No umbrellas over here, okay?
Okay.
I'm not judging.
No, you're good. You're good. I don't remember exactly at what point in my life I came up with the name, but I know it was after COVID.
Okay.
And I was just thinking, like, I love Shakira 2 times. I love that name, but I was wanting to build a brand outside of just hosting. I remember writing on my 2024 vision board, more than a host, because I didn't want to just be in a box of like red carpet hosting and hosting events, which those things are dope, but I wanted to get more into public speaking and telling my story. I wanted to get more into event planning and production, not just hosting the event. So I did some brainstorming, and then I'll never forget, I rewatched Insecure last year, and Issa was saying how she wanted to call herself a cultural curator. And I was like, that's a vibe. Like, and I'd already thought about conversation curator. I didn't use ChatGPT or nothing. This came off the dome. I wanted to say that. And I was like, I really like this concept. I'm going to keep this name. Because it just feels like a more polished, upgraded version of the Shakira 2 Times. And then with me having my podcast as well, Shaq with the Facts, I'm like, well, what's something that kind of will be all encompassing for events, podcasting, hosting, etc.
Yes.
So thus the Conversation Curator was born.
Love
and I officially
that.
filed my LLC at the end of last year for that business.
For that, I love that. I love that for you. Shout out to you. Okay, so now let's get into Shaq with the Facts, since you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Did Shaq with the Facts come before or after LA?
It came in LA. So,
in LA, okay.
Yes. So I was like, I want to do a mini show where I'm on the streets of Hollywood asking people random questions, talking about pop culture. And I started the first couple episodes, I was literally on Hollywood Boulevard talking to people, and then COVID happened. So I'm like, okay, how can I transition this? So me in my bedroom in LA with a little backdrop, I was doing, celebrity gossip, talking about pop culture. And then like Nipsey's passing had a lot to do with it, but also just like becoming a mother. I was like, I want to talk about things that have a little more depth. Like, I don't want to, for the rest of my life to be talking about Kim Kardashian got her BBL removed. Like, there are more things. And so I knew I wanted to do a rebrand, but I didn't know like where to start.
Okay.
And then when I left my very toxic, very tumultuous, very ghetto job, last year in September, I was like, well, let me just kick off the podcast again. Like, I got a nice severance package. I'm like, God is giving me an opportunity to relaunch this. And at the time, I was working for a black business, and then I also work part-time at the B-Suite. Shout out to the B-Suite, it's a black business. I'm a member of Black Business Enterprises. I was all in these rooms with all these black entrepreneurs and professionals. So I'm like, instead of it being Shaq with the Facts and I'm giving like celebrity gossip, let me interview folks who are experts in their area of expertise and get the facts on them. So for instance, if I interviewed y'all, it would be the facts about Power 104.7. So I changed it up a little bit, kept the name, kept the logo, but changed up the concept of it. And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm interviewing black, brown, and small business owners and learning more about what they do.
Beautiful.
Okay,
I love
so
that.
I want to talk just a little bit because you said Oprah and Ryan Seacrest. How did you feel about Wendy though? Come on, man.
So Wendy is a legend. Okay, she's an icon. She definitely paved the way for a lot of the podcast girlies we see today and a lot of just talk show hosts even. But I didn't necessarily want to be like Wendy because I feel like, that sells and that's entertaining, but I feel like that should be meant for a phase. I think you should phase out of that. And this probably sounds crazy because you should never have this mentality. But if you're going to have the mean girl mentality, I don't think somebody in their 30s, 40s, 50s should still have that.
Right,
that
like
spirit.
grow up eventually?
Yeah, grow up a little bit. And I love to, like, I am a Gemini. I love to talk. I love to yap. I can be very shady. So I almost wanted to challenge myself to kind of pivot and do something more constructive to, like, that would benefit the community more. Because it's very easy for me to talk about people, do celebrity gossip and be messy. And that's what Wendy did. And she did it well. But it's like, it's almost like spirit. It drains you. It can be really draining.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just don't think that's something I could do long term.
I feel like us being on the radio, because me and Intenz have our disagreements sometimes where how messy we should go.
Oh, you have a
right?
messy radar.
So I be like, let's get messy. He be like, you really want to go that way? You
that.
really? So I feel like there's a balance for sure. I think the messy is good though because it brings personality to the show. I feel
it does.
But having the facts and speaking, real journalism it makes you trustworthy. So I think the mess works. Like even with some of the guests that we have chosen or that we have on our radar, like we're purposely bringing them in to be messy because we understand controversial.
And you understand marketing. And I struggle with that because a lot of my friends, go ahead.
Just a little bit. No, go ahead. You good. Oh, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah, a lot of my friends that have known me since the start are like, you need to show more of your personality because you've so I'm struggling to find kind of that perfect balance between showing my personality, having click-worthy things, but also uplifting and highlighting black businesses. Absolutely. It's really tricky, and I've always struggled with that because I've always been nervous. I feel like you can have like that polished you can have that polished image and you can always dial it back a little bit and be a little more fun. But once you cross over and you just are like the fun girly, the girly that's wanting to talk about mess, it's really hard to go in those rooms where you can be polished. So I struggle with that.
I agree. I feel like that's why when it comes to the certain guests that we choose, we're being very strategic. Like, okay, let's still highlight black businesses. Let's still highlight, and not just black businesses, people just doing amazing, black excellence, people doing amazing things, period. But at the same time, though, we have to understand what our audience wants to hear.
That's a fact.
So let's bring in people that is going to start up a little riffraff, you know what I'm saying? But just a little bit to where we don't scare away our professional listeners either. So.
And y'all are perfect because this is actually radio, so you can't cuss. When I start going down the tangent, it's a mess. So for me, I'm like, okay, Shakira, do you even want to go there? Because can you reel it back in? And then when you get to start editing, it's like, oh, I don't want to take this out, but maybe I should. So it's been tricky, but yeah, y'all definitely set a good blueprint for like and y'all are a good team too, because men for the most part tend not to be too messy, too catty.
Yeah, umbrella.
No. So you guys balance each other, I feel like, so that works out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate it. See, somebody actually see me for my goodness.
I see you, King.
So, with Shaq with the facts, what rooms outside of, so in Minnesota, because you came back from LA, what rooms has that brand put you in so far? Because I have a few things on here. We can mention you recently been board of directors for Women in Film and TV. Yeah. Minnesota Rising's professional mixer. I see you're hosting with them. 35 under 35. The list goes on.
Investigative journalism.
Yeah,
you know the whole thing.
I told you that balance.
Yes.
So let us know the multiple opportunities that you've had with your brand.
Yeah, thank you. So I will say, I think Shaq with the Facts is something that needs more elevation. I don't feel like it's getting the traffic and the attention I would like it to get.
Okay.
But I would just say, me being a multimedia journalist and hosting now for like 12 years, that has allowed me to get into those rooms and be amongst like amazing people. And then I would think I want to take away, I don't even know if it's like me and my brand. It's like, I'm not afraid to ask questions, and I'm not afraid to ask somebody like, hey, will you be my mentor? So I've had some amazing black women that have helped put me in rooms and helped introduce me to people that could put me in rooms, from, like I mentioned earlier, Bianca Rhodes to Jalen Elam at the B Suite to Nancy Corsa. Like, we have some really dope like boss women here. Yes. Georgia Ford is really great too. So I just feel like just being able to be I am the network queen.
I call myself that too.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So
and it's okay to be multiple of us in the room doing the same thing.
Absolutely. We're a network.
Because I feel like in especially with black women, right, we feel like, oh, competition, right? And it's like, I'm huge on collaboration over competing. So it's possible for 2 network queens or 3 network queens or whatever.
And to be honest, there is not one human being who's doing the same thing that you are doing, that has the same trajectory that you have, and that has the same exact goals and plans that you have. Like, to me, it makes sense for us to work together because we can help feed each other's cup. And we might be going 2 separate ways, but I don't know many women who are in media, period. And that's kind of been one of my goals, is to meet more people. But to go back to your original question, I think just networking, asserting myself, and letting folks know like my story, just sharing a little bit of my story, and that there is that history. Like, I've been doing this for a long time. And I will say, honestly, I think living in LA helped a lot. Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of times for Minnesota creatives, we don't get the respect we deserve until we go out of state and do things. Yeah. There were people that were leaving me on red, ignoring me, not even accepting my follow requests. But then when they saw, I used to do a little bit of like interning at TMZ as well. So when they saw those things, they were like, oh, Shakira, oh, I see you messaged me. It's like, I messaged you 4 years ago. Cricket. So I will say that has helped to get me a lot of opportunities as well.
That is terrible, man.
It is
terrible.
Yeah.
All we can do is digress from it. You know, we put ourselves in these positions to better ourselves. And sometimes it does take for certain accolades or certain achievements to come into play before anybody actually turns around and be like, oh, hey, yeah, you're good over here, or hey, yeah, I remember you. So we just kind of like got to roll with it. And then especially for like the black women, y'all do a lot. And we was just talking about it the other day at across the street. We as black men, we kind of do get, a little bit discouraged when that feminine power comes into play. So we don't really look at certain things like, oh yeah, I should hit her up because she might be able to help me out this, or I should hit her up because she's good at doing this. But just seeing like how the unity is coming back around when it comes down to this, especially this connection right here, just the energy. Like I do feel like just this whole month of everybody you've been picking, and especially you doing your thing too, like there's nothing that y'all can't do.
Absolutely.
Period. So.
Oh, thank you.
I'm still positive, but you know,
us our
after this
flowers.
month, then you know, I mean, I might talk a little
Right,
bit
April
of trash.
1st, we're switching up a little bit.
Just a
Ain't
little
we?
bit.
It's gonna
Just a
be
little
a
bit.
crazy switch. So real quick, let's dive a little bit more into the board of directors for women in film and television, and then 35 under 35. How did you get those opportunities?
Yeah, so Board of Women in Film and Television, they are an amazing organization. They've been around for like over 30 years. And again, my mentor, Bianca Rhodes, when I first graduated college, she gave me an opportunity to host a show at SPNN called Candy Fresh. So I was the red carpet host for her community show. And then when I came back from LA, I became the host again. And so I feel like because she was a part of that organization, she was a sponsor of that organization, them being fans of her work, because she produced the whole talk show, that put me on their radar. And then about 6 months ago, they had an event, like just a big networking event, and they had all these dope executives and actors, and their host like last minute canceled. And Bianca called me and she was like, can you host this event?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I can host this event. So I hosted the event. I think I did a great job. I introduced myself to the board members, and we just stayed locked in.
Nice.
And so when I saw that it was time for elections, one of the board members that I had met through Bianca called me. I don't even know how she got my number. And she was like, hey, you need to apply for this. I don't know if you saw the post, but you need to do this. And even though the organization's called Women in Film and Television, which is absolutely amazing, it's mainly white women. We absolutely need some diversity just in the film and television world in Minnesota in general.
Yeah.
So it was really important for me to apply. And so I'm very excited. They have some amazing things in store. And my biggest thing, the thing I'm most excited about this is like mentorship, me being able to give back to younger women who are just other women in general who work in journalism, who work in film, photography, videography, who don't know that Minnesota has those opportunities. Because a lot of folks didn't even know about the organization. So.
Yeah, when I seen it, I was like, oh my God, look at her. That's dope.
Yes.
And like you said, even though you're not necessarily in film and television per se, right? Media goes across all those boards. So I was like, that is the perfect place for her. So I'm excited for you for that.
I got a question on that. Do you plan to see yourself behind the camera also?
So
as a director?
I've dabbled with that. I haven't thought too deeply about that, I have to be honest with you. But I've dabbled with it, and I've done like PA work, and I really enjoy it. I love everything that has to do with media, film, and TV. I mean, working at Warner Brothers, like really opened my eyes to it, and I'm like, oh, I could absolutely see myself being behind the camera.
Okay.
So, yes.
And then are you like setting a goal to possibly go like news-wise also when it comes down to your journalism work, shall I say?
Yeah, so my dream is still to have my own talk show. So I actually am, so Shack with the Facts is a talk show. I don't like to call it a podcast because everybody and their mom has a podcast. It is a talk show. I'm doing when I premiere my next season, this spring/summer, I'm going to do a live show with a live audience, and I'm going to have musical guests and all those things. And I really want to push for I'm going to apply for every grant in the world and see if I can actually get a live talk show. It won't be news per se because I do love the entertainment aspect, but it'll be me interviewing folks like yourself, folks in the community, and having like a little bit of the, that cultural touch to it that we need. So that's absolutely the goal. And
we're going to need it because Sherry is almost gone.
I know.
Yeah, they cut back a lot of, but they kept Jennifer Hudson. But we're not going to talk about that.
It's Women's Month. So. Yeah.
After April, we could go back.
Right, let's get into that.
So the 35 under 35.
Yes.
How did that happen? That's super dope.
Oh my gosh. So first of all, shout out to Jay-Z. He's an amazing, his name is Jay-Z. So I'm
about to say, wait, Jay-Z?
He's destined for greatness, y'all.
Okay.
Like what? But it's spelled out. His parents, they snapped. But anyway,
they did.
He's a young man. I don't know how old he is, but he's in his 20s. He is a real estate agent. He's an entrepreneur. He's very business minded. He founded this organization called Minnesota Rising Professionals a year or two ago, and it was specifically geared for younger folks that work in corporate that don't feel seen. And so I don't even know how I heard about it, but somebody or a couple people nominated me for it. And that's how I won the award. So, so again, I saw it on social media. I was nominated. I went to the event. And from there, him and I connected, and I'll be hosting, when this comes out, it would have already happened. But I can say on the radio here too that Minnesota Rising Professionals is going to have a conference in the fall, a very big conference at St. Thomas University, and I'll be hosting that as well.
Nice.
So I am very excited about that.
I gotta make sure I get into these rooms because I've been saying, again, like I said, when I moved back from Georgia, I kind of isolated myself a little bit, you know, and so I'm now like, okay. Most people know me as Shardae the artist, but now me stepping into journalism and media, you know, I want to get into these rooms where people now see me as a media outlet.
What you doing tomorrow? Because we have the networking Friday. Mixer. It's free.
Oh, the Rising Professional one is tomorrow. That's right.
Yes, it is.
Man, I low key got a lot of things I gotta do tomorrow. I gotta pick and choose what places I'm gonna go to. Yeah.
And there will be more.
Where is that located at? Especially.
So when it comes to directions, y'all, I'm not. It's in like Northeast. I'll get that information for y'all. But follow MN Rising Professionals on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and they have all the details for you.
Perfect.
I do not know.
Perfect. All right, well, we're gonna slowly start ending this interview here, but let's talk about womanhood real quick, right? Yes. Because we're speaking about Black women in media, us needing to be represented better in that industry and all of that. I made a Facebook post. Cardi B was here, and I made a Facebook post because it was going viral, or different posts were going viral, about people having something to say about how women showed up for themselves. Now, this is something that's talked about often anyways. It's just the Cardi B situation shed a light that we were like, whoa, this is a real problem. How do you feel about how women are projected in media and in the spotlight, just even in professional settings, and why do men specifically feel the need to always need to speak on women's situations? Yeah.
Well, I'll just say this candidly: a lot of people are losers, Day. Like, there's really no other way to put it.
I said it on my post.
A lot of people are miserable, bored, and jealous, and unfortunately, it's projected. We live in a, like, I don't want to say this generation. People have always been like that, but now people have the opportunity to communicate that to strangers.
Exactly.
And I think, I don't know. For me, I just think there's a lot of deep-rooted insecurity, specifically speaking about the men who are, like, online dragging, not only Cardi B, who, she doesn't know who you are,
right,
to us who are going and enjoying the show. I just think, folks, it's so hard for me not to cuss because, look, I'm passionate about this, but folks be bored. I mean, I really don't know what else to say. And not only that, honestly, gas is high, groceries are high. Folks be broke and they want monetization on Facebook.
That's what it is.
And they'll post anything.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's cussing out their grandma. If they have to throw somebody under the bus for a couple, they're doing something strange for a piece of change. That is the definition of that. And at our expense, I like that. So that's what I think.
Yeah. I made that post because now granted, I made the post maybe a day and a half or two after Cardi B because I wanted to take time to really gather what I wanted to say and to look at all the other posts because they were just coming from left and right. And like you just said, people are losers, and I said, like, we finna create our own loser of the day.
Ooh,
right here on the
like
station.
That.
I'm finna create our own loser of the day. It's gonna be Donkey Today style, like Charlamagne. And it's not to say we're stealing anything from him. It's just taking that blueprint and being like, no, because there's real losers out here, and we finna start highlighting them. What if it's a male? What if it's a woman? What if it's a politician? What if it's it don't matter. Anybody can get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say on that one and that whole situation is a lot of you guys, bro, need to find something to do.
For real, something safe to do.
Like that one
touch grass.
That one was for the women, and we gonna keep it for the women. I don't see anything wrong with what a lot of the females had on. I don't see nothing wrong with y'all popping out because y'all were outside.
Okay. Period.
And they could be pretty and petty, but they choosing not to be. So like, nah, man, kudos to all you females, man, all you ladies that showed up because y'all came in unity. And, you know, even though I seen the, little video of her being like, hey, man, Minnesota, where y'all at? I thought y'all was coming, but y'all still showed up, so yeah, we can't
Wait,
knock
video?
it.
What'd she say?
Oh shit, no, cause so you know Minnesota's known for getting our tickets last minute.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
I
that's
see.
why a lot of artists don't be wanting to come here because they can't see how much they're making.
That's real.
Until the day they get here.
Okay, fair.
We
So-
like to wait literally
Last
the day
minute.
of to get our
Yep,
tickets.
yep,
So
yep.
Yeah, you just color people on color people time. I
That's
understand
it. We wanna
but-
make sure.
Yeah, nah,
and the artists maybe it's the circle of life. They be canceling so much. A lot of people don't want to get tickets
yeah,
until the
anybody got
last
time
minute.
for that?
Yeah.
that too. But nah, bro, like for that whole situation, y'all did y'all thing.
They did.
Like, I wouldn't.
And did you
I
go?
can't.
Yes, I did.
I
You
can't
did?
fix
Okay.
myself up
And
to
I-
say anything bad about it because
Yeah.
it like. I'm gonna go to a certain show, and then most of you guys that's out here bashing the women, you gonna be front row at Bootsy and
Girlfriend.
FD Doug, 42 Doug, and all that. Y'all gonna be there before the females are there.
Right
so,
front.
Yep.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
They're
most
gonna be
of the
knocking women out just to get to that.
Literally, and most of the negative feedback I saw was like, y'all support a woman with 2 baby dads and 4 kids. Like, first of all, what does that have to do
With anything.
I ain't gonna
with
go.
anything.
I'm gonna go there. What about your mama?
Okay, and that's the problem. I want to say a lot of these men, their moms didn't hold them and rock them to sleep, and that's a lot of the issue.
And it
too.
shows.
Yep.
And it
or,
shows.
or they got rejected by a girl in 2nd grade, and you just don't like women, and that's fine. But just say that.
Yeah,
because I don't hear
Your mom might have got a photo down in '92
Okay,
in
freak me.
Atlanta.
Okay,
So
that part.
I'm glad my mama wasn't out there. Lord.
I'm just saying, bro.
We from Chicago.
Okay.
Don't
That,
trip.
hey, that doesn't mean it's off limits.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Hey, Chicago, one of them places too, bro. You
Facts,
know?
though. Facts. All right. Well, no, Shakira, thank you so much for coming. We really
Yes.
appreciate you. We had an amazing show. It was really fun. Let the people know what's some things you got coming up in the next, few months or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, I am one of the official hosts for MN Rising Professionals. So we are going to have a summer mixer. The date is TBD, and then a huge conference in the fall at St. Thomas University. So look forward to that. I also am coming towards the end of the season for my talk show, Shack with the Facts. But when I do a season premiere for season 3 later this year, it's going to be a live talk show. So there's going to be a studio audience. We're going to do interviews. I want to give a couple giveaways. I'm going to go full-blown Oprah,
Nice.
but a little blacker. So I'm very excited
You get
for
a
that.
car. You get a car.
Exactly. I'm very
The fact
excited
that
for
she
that.
said a little blacker, I love the shade.
No, I truly, and I
Umbrella
mean
on
that.
one,
Like
because
Oprah, yeah, like
she switched.
she
after a while.
switched bad. Like, and then lastly, I would like to say I also do public speaking. And when I was pregnant, I mentioned earlier in the interview, I was pregnant, I was sad, I was depressed, lonely, all that. I found a life coach. And there's a life coaching center that literally changed my life. And they have an annual charity event, and I'll be the keynote speaker for that in April.
Nice.
So if you want to hear a little bit more about my story, and just, as I mentioned, my dad raising me and being a mother and all of those things, that event is open to the public as well. And that's in April. So for all the details to all the things I just mentioned, please follow me on social media at Shakira Edwards or the Conversation Curator, and you'll be able to tune into all of those things. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, y'all. It's real quiet over there. I need help.
We got you. All right, y'all. We up out of here. We love y'all and see y'all next time. Peace.
See ya.